we're going to draw a 2-inch grid onto this white piece of paper. And I know I did not tell you need a ruler. So I have some hacks, tricks to do this without a ruler if you do not happen to have one. If you have a ruler, I would really prefer you use that method. I am also going to do this in a black Sharpie. I do not want you to use a black Sharpie. I want you to use a pencil, and I want you to write as lightly as you possibly can with this pencil. This is just for demonstration purposes. Okay. So we are going to draw a 2-inch grid. So what we're going to do is we're going to start right here, and we're going to start on the left side. So that is very important. You're going to start at the top. You're going to line it up, not the end of the ruler, but where the numbers and the lines begin. So you're going to line it up there, and then again, using a pencil, you are going to draw a dot at the 2, at the 4, at the 6, at the 8, at the 10, at the 12, at the 14. Oh no, my ruler is not long enough. I'm going to move it to that same starting point right there. And I'm going to do right here. So our paper that I had you get was 14 by 17. So we will always probably need to cut a little off. We might alter the size of our projects. This project, we're not going to use this last little bit. So this is very important. If you started on this side measuring at the top, you have to start on this side measuring at the bottom. Because if you start on the wrong side or you flip your paper, your lines will not be equal. So I'm going to start back on the same spot. So really what you need to do is if you finish here, you just slide your ruler down to the bottom. Again, we're doing this with pencil, not with a Sharpie. 2, 4, 6. Try to draw it exactly where the line is. That is very important. We're trying to make as straight lines as we possibly can. We're going to slide it this way again, line it up, and we're going to draw right here. Now, because you might not have a ruler, I'm going to show you a different way of doing it. This first example is if you have a ruler. If you have a ruler, then you will line up your ruler between your 2 dots that you measured with your ruler. You will hold it very steady with your other hand, and then you will draw a line as lightly as you can with your pencil. It should not be dark. It should not make an indentation in the paper. It's barely going to show up. But because this is an example, I'm going to use a Sharpie so you can see my lines. So I'm going to line it up. Oh, it moved a little bit. If I was doing it in a pencil, I would just line it back up, erase that little error, and finish my line. Like so. Erase, 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 erase. Move it to the next one. Make sure you're lining it up on both of the dots. Hold it steady with your other hand and draw your line. And you're going to continue to do this until you finish with your lines all going vertically. They are equally spaced at the top and equally spaced at the bottom. You cannot draw a straight line unless you put a dot at the top and a dot at the bottom. You cannot just estimate where the bottom dot would be because your lines will not be straight. Dots at top, dots at bottom. Now we're going to pretend I finished drawing all those lines. Now I'm going to show you I do not have a ruler, Miss Nealon, whatever will I do? Everybody, this is my little name badge, but everybody in your house, somebody has a credit card. This is the size of a credit card. Credit cards are not exactly 2 inches, but they are awfully close. So I'm going to do, if you use a ruler, you're going to do this, and you're going to do the next step with a ruler. So this is just as if you don't have a ruler. So don't switch back and forth. So if you have a ruler, you do it all like this. You just now do it in the other direction. If you don't have a ruler, you'll do it all like this. So we're going to start at the top. I'm going to remember that started at the top. I'm going to lay my credit card down, and at the very bottom, with a pencil, I'm going to draw a dot. And then I'm going to move it, and I'm going to draw a dot. And you're doing this with a pencil, so you will not be doing what I'm doing right now and actually writing on my credit card or my name badge. So we're going to draw, 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 just like this, lining it up every time. Just drew on my name badge a lot that time. We're going to have a little bit of extra space down here. We're not going to use that bottom space. Then we're going to come over here. We're going to start at the top again, because that's where I'm starting. I'm going to line it up. Ooh. All right. Here. 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 And then you're going to be like, Miss Nealon, I don't have a ruler to draw my straight lines. That is very true. But you all should have something straight in your house. So if you bought your paper in a pack, the back of your pack has a cardboard piece on it, and that will draw a straight line. I'm going to use this piece of, I don't know, paper, black paper. But I'm going to pretend it's the back side of my sketchbook pack. I'm going to line it up as long as it is straight, and you can draw a line with it. You do not have to have a ruler. So I'm going to line it up like this. Make sure I line it up on both sides. I'm going to use my pencil. I'm going to draw as lightly as I can, and I'm going to draw my vertical lines. I drew my horizontal lines already, and now I'm drawing my vertical lines. Again, you either need to do it all with the ruler method or all with the credit card method. You do not need to switch to a credit card if you have a ruler. That would make absolutely no sense. So if you have a ruler, you need to use your ruler. Measure 2 inches. Draw little dots. I just wrote on my whiteboard. Ta-da! When you're done, you should have all of these perfect little squares drawn in pencil very, 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 very lightly. Hold on, I'm going to show you. This is how lightly I want you to draw this pencil line. I want you to line it up here and here, and I want you to lay it on there. I'm not holding it down. I'm barely laying it on there, and I'm going to barely move it across. So my pencil line is so very light that you can barely see it. So that is how you're going to do your grid until you have all of these lines and all of these lines. And we're going to cut off, you don't have to do this, but this is just extra space that we're not going to use on this side and this side. If you ended up getting like a 12 by 18, just do as many, don't count, just do as many lines fits on your page using a 2-inch grid. Now, hold on, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to come up close, and we're going to look at that line. Look at that line. Focus. Come on, focus. Why didn't he focus? Hold on just a second. All right, it's not going to focus, but do y'all see how very, very, very light that line is? So all of your lines need to be light with a pencil, just like that, so it can be completely erased. This is your project for Friday. You're going to grid your paper, your big paper, with a grid using pencil and either the ruler method or the credit card method. And then we're going to start drawing your portraits on Monday.